Yeah, it's butter. It's all butter. It's thoughtless. The more I'm on it, the more I'm being converted to it. I thought it was a bit absurd, but the more I'm riding on it, the more I'm like, I could be on this motorcycle all day long. Hey everybody, it's Dick here. We're still out shopping for Fannie's new bike, and today I'm riding the Harley Davidson Heritage Classic 114 Softail. 114 stands for 1,868 cc's, or 114 cubic inches, of Milwaukee 8 engine. It puts out 92.7 horsepower and 114 foot-pounds of torque. Other than that, it is your box standard motorcycle. This one has cruise control, but beyond that, it's got a single disc at the front, a single disc at the back, non-adjustable forks. It is a motorcycle, and if it wasn't 20,000 pounds, I would be drawn to its simplistic, lovely, classic nature. This example has high bars, a windshield, bags, essentially everything you can get out of the accessory catalog that isn't performance rated, which is the economic way of pimping out your Harley, relatively speaking, after dropping 20 G's on it. The faux second gas cap on the gas tank for symmetry and design purposes is just one of the absurdities that I find about this Harley Davidson Heritage Classic. If I were 20 years older and still lived in the United States, I'd probably be sweating over this bike as I loomed towards retirement. But as I live in central London and I don't feel nearly as old as I am, this eludes me.
And this is Fannie, and I'm on the Fat Bob 107. It's 107 cubic inches, which is 1750 cc's in old money. It has 107 foot-pounds of torque, a 6-speed transmission, and a Kevlar belt drive. It has inverted front forks, fat 16-inch wheels. As we're in the UK, this one has ABS, but note that's an $800 add-on outside of the European Union. I've been really looking forward to riding the Fat Bob, as it's just the type of contemporary Harley I think I'm looking for. And let's face it, it's pretty badass.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely some weird vibes on this bike.
What makes it weird?
Loose ferrite, like loose bits. When the vibrations get high, you hear it. The Street Bob felt more nimble. This feels a little bit heavier, a little bit clunkier.
We got fatter tires on the front.
But, very formidable. It's a serious bike, you know? Like,
yeah.
As soon as I got on the Street Bob, I was like smiling, I was giddy. And that's not, you know, and the fact that I'm not in this one is, it just takes a little bit, I feel like I got a little bit more going on here. I'm back to the straight bars again, so
yep.
Which makes the steering a little twitchy. It makes the turning a little bit, you know, tight turns a little bit harder. But you know what? I mean, I'm still getting the heat. A little bit more so. I'm noticing it sooner on this one than I was on the Street Bob. I would definitely put riser bars on this. I do like the forward controls, I think, because this is forward controls and they're quite nice. I like the location of forward controls on Harleys. Something is really, that's warm. Jesus, that's warm right under my thigh.
I've burned my leg on this exhaust twice already.
I don't want to ride that one.
You're gonna ride this one because you do the same. You do it all the time. You're like, I don't want to ride this one, and then it's like, that's the one I'm gonna buy.
But I'm not interested in it. This is burning my thigh.
Is that the exhaust side?
It's the exhaust side, but this metal thing is really hot.
I'm going to talk about this a little bit. It is exactly what you expect a Harley Davidson to be. And I described it when I first rode it, like around the block the other day at night.
Yeah.
As loose, how it felt loose.
Yeah.
it doesn't feel loose, but it does not feel tight.
Yeah, yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Not like the Street Bob. Not like this. This is tight.
I feel old on this bike, and I don't know whether it's the windshield. I mean, I got a car brake pedal.
You look old on that bike.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think you got to work your way up to that bike. But not in a performance type of way.
Not in a good way.
In a geriatric type of
way.
Yeah,
you're working yourself into this bike, not up to this bike.
So do you want to be Punch or John?
I always thought John, because Punch was a bit swarthy, but I think I'm more Punch.
No, I'm more Punch than you are.
Oh, maybe.
You're definitely more John.
You know, it's the difference between Duke and Hawkeye in G.I. Joe. Everyone wanted to be Duke, the leader, but he was the blonde, clean-cut guy, the Boy Scout type.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye was the guy with the beret, had a gruffer voice, and darker hair and darker complexion. So you're never going to be Duke. You're always going to be Hawkeye. And on this, I think you're always going to be Punch, even if you want to be John.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't fault this bike in any way, but I'm not inspired by it the way other people I think would be. I can't find the god. I just turned the cruise control on trying to honk at that guy.
I was wondering what you were doing.
The controls are weird. Anyway.
See, this is a good bike too.
You look good on that. You look more Terminator on that bike.
Yeah, this is more Terminator. I definitely feel more Terminator on this. I think it feels more powerful than the other bike. It really does.
I'm interested to see the numbers on it because I think it all has to come down to rider position and how aggressive you are in the rider position and those bars and.
It is you know, I don't like this kind of 1980s graphics on it. Or is it more
graphics?
90s? More 90s graphics?
What graphics? I didn't notice any graphics.
The Harley Davidson written on the top left of the tank.
Oh yeah, that's pretty 90s.
I like the minimalist logo on the right-hand side of the tank.
I do. I thought that was the only graphics. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that there's something else on it.
Me too. And I was like, ooh, sexy. And now I'm like, meow. But I like riding this bike. It's nice. It's formidable.
How do you feel about the fat tires?
I kind of, you know what? I haven't been on it, and we haven't stretched its legs enough for me to really tell. I think that's what makes it feel more formidable. It makes it feel like a heavier bike, like a wider. I feel like the frame feels wider. You said it's the same as the Street Bob, but
it might be. I don't know.
But it just feels like wider, and yeah, see, definitely more.
You didn't say you had to stretch the legs of the Street Bob when we were going slow. Where this one, you're like, oh, I don't know, I haven't stretched its legs.
No, because with the Street Bob, I was bing, 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 bing. I was through those gears quick. Like I was at third. Like this, I'm still cruising. I'm at second, and I'm like, okay, I'm cruising. Because it feels like there's more torque.
Yeah, I think that bike, when I rode the 114 version of it, I think that bike gave me the sense that it really needed to be run. Like it had to go.
Yeah, it feels like it has to run. It feels like I should be chasing a Terminator. See, I think though that I would be smiling if I had the riser bars.
I wonder what the Fat Bob community would think about putting risers, hangers on a Fat Bob.
Is that like a no-no? Is that a no-no?
Well, the whole point of the Fat Bob is this kind of Harley shift to be more sporty. more street oriented, you know, as opposed to this lopey heritage thing that I'm stuck on right now.
Yeah, that's why I don't have any desire to ride it, because I just don't.
I need you on camera on this thing just for shits and giggles. Putting risers on that, I think would look awesome, but I think would definitely change the performance stance of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
I mean, I'd totally entertain it. I'd be as irreverent as I expect us to be. I don't know. You want to make a right or a left? I don't know.
I don't know what's what.
Right. Let's make it right.
I definitely feel at home in this series of bikes, the Bob series.
You look at home. You look very comfortable on these bikes that we've been riding. Everything bigger than the Sportster, you look very comfortable on.
But I think when I was on the lowrider and the street glide, I think it was slightly much for me. Not much as in like power, much as in dimensions, I think.
I don't know. I thought the Sport Glide fit you nicely, but I don't.
It was just too lazy.
It wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun.
I tell you, I really do like these Bobs. I like them.
Ooh, this is vibey. When you get some RPM on it, it's very vibey.
Yeah, this is vibing. Like it's making some noise.
Yeah, this thing is a retirement jewel.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's lovely. It's shiny.
As is, I think, the Street Glide.
And maybe. Well, the Street Glide's, I think it's a pre-retire. I think the Street Glide is probably the midlife crisis jewel. Like, I've never ridden a motorcycle. I want to buy a Harley. I'm a bit nervous. Let's buy it.
Yeah.
Where this one is like, I need to retire to buy this bike. This is a garage queen.
Yeah.
It's a garage queen. Because I'd be polishing this motherfucker. This bike can't live outside.
No, it cannot.
It's too pretty. And it doesn't ride well enough to be a rider's bike. To be like, I don't care if it looks like shit. If this bike looked like shit, you couldn't justify it because it's your daily ride.
Yeah, I agree.
You got a looky-loo in this murk here. There are bikes where you're like, oh, it looks like shit, but I ride it all the time. It lives outside. It's okay that it looks like shit. Like my Royal Enfield. It's okay that it looks like shit. This bike, if it looks like shit, it would be like, what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame that bike looks like shit. But it would look like shit. Ooh, that's interesting. I just tried to adjust myself on these running boards, and the whole rubber moved inside the metal mount. It moved with my foot. It is a show queen, though. Everyone is bending their neck to look at this.
Everyone is looking at you.
Everyone is looking at this bike.
Because they've never seen a member of the California Highway Patrol in London.
I know. I'm just going to start writing tickets.
You hear that music.
Do you know how fast you were going, sir?
It's illegal to park here on Saturdays and Sundays. This is a resident permit
zone. Do you have
only.
any illegal modifications?
See, something's vibey. Like, I don't know if it's the gas cap or whatever.
Oh yeah, he did turn the gas cap. Maybe the gas tap's rattling.
Yeah, maybe it is. Something's rattling.
Yeah, dip it low.
Keep it low.
See how it turns around there.
Yeah, that's nice.
What is this guy doing?
What is this guy doing? What are you doing?
Come nose to nose with a fucking Harley.
Turd. Fucking hell.
It was just like white man moves. It's the triplets of Belleville.
I feel like Daryl Dixon, like I'm just waiting for the zombie apocalypse on this thing. Yeah, this is no joke. This bike is no joke. Wow, this is slick. What the hell is that all about? That's slick.
This is slick as shit.
It's really slick. There's like...
See, I thought I'd bring you down Kensington High Street since we're on such bejeweled motorcycles. Just ride the boulevard.
I am liking this bike. I mean, like something with this vibration, the noise is irritating me. I'm behind this cab. Shall I roll up?
Yeah, come rock around.
Can you scooch up and over a little bit?
I can't move over.
I got you.
There's no moving over, baby. I can move forward and back.
This is definitely a more formidable bike than the Street Bob.
I wonder. It looks a bit bigger on you.
It's bigger. It's bigger. Everything feels bigger. The engine feels bigger. Like it feels more powerful, more torquey, more get up and go.
Looks taller.
It's definitely it's taller. It's taller. Yeah. It's definitely taller. It's heavier because I don't. What is this thing here on the right? This big.
That's the air. That's that air box.
That's different than the Street Bob.
Well, you could switch those
Like
out to,
something a little bit more low profile.
You could put a ram air thing. You can make it low profile. You can.
But
make,
again, you gotta. You that's more extras. You just gotta. You're throwing money at the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about service, because if I'm going to pay an arm and a leg for a bike and then I'm going to pay to customize it, what's maintenance like?
You know, it's every year and every 6,000 miles, I think. Every year or every 6,000 miles. So if someone's doing 6,000 miles before they hit their year mark, it's gonna be like any other bike. It's gonna be a couple £100. This guy again. Oh my God, man. He's got a death wish. You know, you'd think he'd anticipate where he would have to turn before
He's just a disaster.
causing a damn fucking traffic incident.
He's like one of those kids take for ADHD.
Ritalin.
He's on Ritalin. Guy's definitely on Ritalin. That bike is so funny. Why did I see you look at it and you're like, wow, what a cool Harley, and then when you kind of watch it, it's like,
you know why? Because this is a Harley Davidson. If you told someone, draw me a Harley Davidson, they would do their best to draw this fucking thing. They would not draw that.
No.
If you had a bunch of pictures of motorcycles which didn't have brand names on them, and you had this one next to that one, and you say, pick out the Harley Davidson, they would pick this one out and not pick that one out.
Yeah, you're right.
If they had a picture of that one and the V-Star that we have in the States, they would pick out the V-Star as the Harley Davidson.
Yeah. This
is just quintessential Harley Davidson. And so when you walk into the shop and you see it under the lights and you see the two-tone paint and the shiny bits, you're like, this is a fucking Harley.
Yeah.
I can't fault it. It's enjoyable to ride ish. It's not exciting, but it's okay. Notice it around these roundabout turns. How do those fat wheels feel around those turns?
That's good. It's like it's on rails.
Is it?
Yeah.
How does it feel with a little wind in your chest?
Not bad. It actually feels better than the Street Glide.
Really?
I'm not getting that wind in my kuka like from the Street Glide.
I'm getting a little wind in my kuka here. It's funny, whenever I ride a bike with fairings, I'm always aware of where the wind actually hits me. And it almost seems like it's more deliberate when it's hitting me on a bike with a fairing. But I do feel very, very wind protected. Hits me right in the forehead in just the right spot to go over the helmet without any buffeting. But my knees are being knocked around with the wind a little bit. I'm not getting that spiritual experience I am on a Harley. You know how people are like, oh, I rode a Harley, it was spiritual. Hey, a Himalayan.
Ooh.
What?
I just skidded out.
Did you?
Yeah, something's really sketchy.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It just got really slippery all of a sudden.
What do you think caused the skid out? Fat tires? Too much torque? Is it too much torque? Did you gas it?
As I was accelerating in first, I put the clutch in and I went to go upshift to second. I started to brake to slow down and let the clutch out, but I was still going quite quickly, a bit too quickly to go into first, and my rear wheel spun out. So it kind of spun, gave a quick spin, but then caught. But you get that little shimmy, and that's what I got. So it just spooked me a little bit. You know, I didn't feel like I was gonna fall. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta stop riding. But after something like that happens, you get this feeling like your tires are slick. You're like, oh my God, am I gonna slide?
No, it spun. So you spun out a little bit. All right. Well, that's what you gotta be aware of, the power. Whoever buys this bike has to get the leg shields that they sell for this bike. I'm getting a lot of vibration in my ass, and my wing mirrors are buzzing almost like the Royal Enfield. I mean, it's a bit vibey in the ass and at certain RPMs in the handlebars, but I'm not upset by it. And the weight is so low that you're like, all right, go that way, go that way. I mean, it's not exciting, but it is enjoyable. So if you're a Sunday rider, and it has some muscle to it, a lot of muscle to it. But if you're a Sunday rider and you want a powerful bike because you have little dick syndrome and you want something that's easy to use and comfortable, this will make someone very happy to own. If you like that video and you want to see more like them, hit like, share, and subscribe.